Hey everybody, I'm here with my sister Maravox, and we are at her favorite bookstore, and she's going to show me books that are similar to my book, or any of my books really. So if you like any of the books that she's telling me to buy, then you might want to check my author page because you'll like those books, or follow me because you might be wanting to hear about my fantasy book that I'm working on. Alright, so this is my sister's first pick. If you've read it, you know what it's about. Now you tell me why you think it applies to my book.
Okay, so you wrote a book called Midnight Over Moors. It was the first book you've ever written about a teenage girl who can see ghosts and has to solve a decades-old murder.
Yep.
Well, this book, main character, Signa Farrow, can see ghosts because, for some reason she can't die. And that's established in the prologue of the book.
Okay.
And so she can see ghosts, and then the whole thing is a murder mystery. So very similar kind of vibes.
Okay, so definitely applies. Alright. So Belladonna, if you like Belladonna, you'd like Midnight Over Moors, my first book, which is hitting its 10th anniversary. So make sure you check my author page. Second recommendation is Book Lovers. Now, why does this pertain to the books I've written?
Okay, so the second book you wrote, #Hipster, is a rivals to lover story where two people have to work together to write a book. In this one, it's similar because it is an enemies to lovers or rivals to lovers, where two people that work in the publishing industry and misjudged each other at the start.
Okay, so very similar. Instead of them having to write a book, they just have to work together. So I will say #Hipster is about half this size.
Yeah,
it's much shorter,
novella. This is a full
but
novel.
character-wise and story structure-wise, very similar. Okay. So this is the third one she's recommending to me, and why would you recommend this one?
Because the series that you are working on kind of starts, it's a big fantasy world, but it starts kind of in a small, kind of one place, one kingdom, with a bit of a romance plot going on, but there's, other things that kind of build into a greater conflict and involve
a bigger world problem.
Yeah, more and more of the world. And so this series starts that kind of same way, where you have the main character as an assassin and gets kind of rescued basically from a slave camp to be entered into a championship to become the king's champion.
Okay.
Which would kind of free her.
Okay.
And then build out from there.
Okay. Current series I'm working on is a little bit different, where it's the main character is a guy and he's trying to get the certain rank in the military, and to do that he has to have the king sign off on it, and to have the king sign off on it he's got to do a final task essentially that proves more trouble than it's worth. But this does sound like it would apply. We were on the fence of adding these to the list because I haven't read the first part of the first trilogy of the series. However, the Runaway Queen aspect is 100% part of my fantasy series. So if you like these books, you will probably like the fantasy book I'm currently working on. We're on the fence with this one as well because the social setup and dynamic is very similar to what I set up in my fantasy novel. However, the plot is different. So if you're into this magi versus, or the magical people versus non-magical people, and the non-magical people have the social power, then that's the kind of standing you'd be getting in my fantasy novel. And the last recommended one is this one, just because the vibes of the MC being essentially a general of knights matches the vibes of my MC, who is literally becoming the archmage, who is like the head knight, head general of the kingdom. So I am adding this one to the list, and we're gonna check out. This is what we got, or what I got. I got a huge amount of books. Maybe I'll do a book haul video later, but right now this is what it is. And if you liked any of those books that were recommended that either match the vibes of the books that I'm currently working on or match the vibes of books I've already published, go check my author's page, follow this page. And also, I'm gonna link my sister's YouTube content. She's Marivox on YouTube. She does a lot of Fallout builds. So if y'all like Fallout, follow her. All right, bye.